Okay, let's go ahead and kick it off. Happy Sunday. I got my webcam rock and rolling today. I don't believe that I ever actually made a video on this channel with a webcam. So welcome if you are new. If you are new, we talk about, whoo boy, a lot of stuff on here. And we are on a rock and roll train. I'm going to try and make a new video every single day. I love the stock market so much. I love talking about it. The weekends are my least favorite days out of the week, and you gotta do what you love in life. And I love what I do. I love the things going on. The market right now is extremely shaky, which is also not the worst thing because there's could be potentially a lot of great deals to really step in as buyers. I am a small fish in a big pond retail trader. Not some big wig Wall Street dude, just some random guy on the internet with a webcam, microphone, laptop, and also have picked up a lot of great abilities of learning about moving averages. I went through a day trading academy back in 2023. Dabbled in the world of day trading. Extremely awesome, but extremely painful if you get kicked in the nuts. So, it can go either ways. Right now, my whole philosophy is really growth companies. I believe that there are so many great growth companies out there, and the opportunities are just phenomenal. I am heavily invested in SoFi. Been talking about SoFi a lot on this channel. Yesterday, I made a new video discussing a public profile account challenge, where if we do see a gigantic dip in this market, I am going to be a heavy buyer of several stocks. 4 stocks I'm already pretty much committed to, such as adding shares, and that is, of course, SoFi, Palantir, Hood, AMD. A 5th company or maybe 6th company, I'm not entirely sure. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video, and you definitely have time to, please check it out. And like I said, gonna try post a video per day. Also on X if you use X as well too. I was making a lot of videos last year on this one penny stock poop company. And the penny stock ended up getting delisted finally. Yesterday video, decent amount of views, 27 compared to a couple the previous day. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, this one did really well here. And then, of course, like I said, if you go back in time, over a year ago, I was covering a penny stock company. It didn't work out so well for the company, like I said. But that is well and gone. Some stuff that I do want to talk about relatively quick before really getting started here is we have a very interesting thing happening that can really shake or really make this market even more. So November 20th, which is it this week? Yes, it's this Thursday. Holy balls. So this Thursday, the job report for September. You got to remember the government has been shut down for about, and this is where when I first got started in this, it did not make sense to me right off the bat. And then as time went on, stuff started really making sense. Our stock market, the way it's all designed by the Federal Reserve, it sucks balls. Oh, it majorly does suck. Because every month that we get data, it's the month prior. Keep it simple. January 2026. We do not know January's data until February. And if you're looking at GDP, I mean, that is quarterly. So, I mean, our economy could be entering into recession whether we know it or not. And this is where a lot of conspiracy theories start arising, fun stuff to talk about. I love talking about fun shit. I'm all about it. But the thing about talking about fun stuff is that you got to face reality on a lot of stuff. The way our stuff is structured, it's ultimately set up to fail. It sucks. But is it done on purpose? That is the conspiracy. Do I believe that there are evil people? Oh, absolutely. Evil forces, 100%. I'm a Christian. I believe in demons, evil forces, being able to corrupt people. Absolutely. Forces of darkness. Are there forces of light? Absolutely. Forces of light that I consider myself to be, although I just got to go with the flow and watch out for myself because, well, the forces of evil, they have a bigger wiener than me. Not to mention they have a lot more money than me too. So, I definitely enjoy joking a lot as well too. Hopefully you enjoy my sense of humor. But so, let's say January 2026, keeping it simple. We get that data in February, and January's data is flat. Now, February comes along, and we get February's data in March. February shows a decline. So now we are in March, and we say, okay, let's give it one more month. Well, guess what? Now we're in April looking at March's data, and it's declined even more, and now we're like entering into recession. The point being is that the way our structured stuff is that we could be in a recession without even knowing it. And if you look back in history, that has pretty much happened repeatedly. It happens every effing recession. Every single recession we go into, it happens. We were in a temporary recession in 2022. Some people are arguing that we have been in a 3-year recession. We are in a rolling recession. What is a rolling recession? I've never experienced it before. I'm 37. Been in the stock market since 2020, April timeframe, which I'm going to talk about here momentarily. But a rolling recession is basically pretty much when you have stocks, housing, crypto going to all-time highs, but the labor market and the economy is not doing so hot. So it is essentially artificial, and it will catch up with you. We will have a massive like pop in a way. It doesn't mean a 2008 style crash is coming. It could just be a healthy pullback, but it creates awesome buying opportunities. Now, this report that is coming out November 20th, a lot of people are talking about it because this is for September, which means we don't even know what October is yet. If September is worse than August, that's going to panic a lot of people. It's also going to put pressure on the Federal Reserve for December. If we go ahead and get November's data, let's say beginning of December, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve. I am going to make a prediction, and I don't like doing this very often, but I really like tracking this stuff. It's not a I honestly, I don't like making stock predictions because anything is possible. But I do want to make it's a little fun prediction here. So we have the Federal Reserve. Their next meeting is December 10. So the FOMC meeting, I believe, is December 10th. December 10th, I believe, is a Wednesday. Yep, so it's December 10th. If we go ahead and get October's data before this meeting, and if it's really bad, you can guarantee a rate cut. A lot of people are saying there's no way in hell we're going to be getting a rate cut in December. I don't know about that. Like, we could very well get a rate cut. Now, what is it going to happen, and what is it going to do to the overall market? Well, it can do a couple things. One, it can do nothing. It could be priced in. It could do a lot, or it could start to cause a downside. Can the market go down with the Fed cutting? Oh, yeah, it can. Why is that a possibility? Because it means there's something fundamentally wrong with our U.S. economy. It means that there are cracks in the U.S. economy and bad stuff is happening. Can we rebound quicker? since the Federal Reserve has so much room to cut interest rates down to essentially near zero, oh yeah, we have the Federal Reserve behind us, and we could, but the overall terminology, or rather I should say ideology, is what the hell is going to happen in the next 3 months? Are we going to see a 2018 where we are just going to get a massive sell-off here? Or are we going to see a 2021 up until the end of the year where we go ahead and continue to bust to all-time highs on every single stock, continue to continue to trend up. I mean, right now, if our moving averages continue on SoFi, you're looking at the 50-day moving average come time maybe like 3 months. We could be at the 50 at the mid 30s. I mean, hell, we can even go even more bullish and be in the near 40s here. Even more, something like this. Is it a possibility? Anything is possible. But here is the reality. The reality is that, yes, there is so much money on the sidelines, but this is also where a lot of people forget this, and I actually have been saying this over the last several weeks now, that we have $7 trillion in money markets on the sideline. But how much of that money is really artificial? A lot of people forget about that. If you have $7 trillion, did I say million? Trillion dollars. $7 trillion with a T. $7 trillion. How much money is in money markets? Believe it's 7 trillion. Here we go. Okay. So 7.6 trillion. A lot of people have been saying this online. Well, how can the market go down and crash if we have $7 trillion in money markets that are not invested in the market? You got to remember that this very could be artificial. It could be very artificial because, one, a lot of this money may have already been rolled into the market, and at the same time, it could just not be accounted for like a couple quarters. Or maybe there really is X amount of money on the sidelines. Who knows? But as long as you have a plan when markets are extremely... As long as you have a plan in general, you should be good. I've learned over the last couple years, as long as you have a plan in place, things are going to work in your favor. It may not go exactly how you see it, but things are going to work pretty much in your favor for profitability. I am a profitable trader. 2023 was a complete negative wash for me. Otherwise, 2020, 21, I don't really count those years. I was extremely profitable because I just bought the gigantic COVID dip. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know any of this stuff about moving averages, Fibonacci levels. But you could have just bought anything, and the entire market was rallying. So I got lucky. That's pretty much 22 made or break you. 23 same. And 2024 last year came out green, which was a win-win chicken dinner, and going to finish this year also on the green side as well too. My plan is pretty much verbatim. If we go ahead and get a massive pullback in the market in the next coming weeks, maybe month, I'm going to be a heavy buyer. And right now, I have quite a bit of money in my public profile that I'm going to be doing, but I may even add in more depending how massive. Thinking about doing a $25,000 public profile challenge, 25 grand to 100 grand. It's very possible, very reasonable. Probably going to take about a year, maybe a little longer, but I'm a patient person. And the thing about it is that if this market goes down further, maybe I'll increase it to 50K. If I do a 50K public profile challenge, obviously I'm not doing 100. That'd be too easy. Probably going to go ahead and push it to maybe like $250,000. 50 grand to $250,000, over the course of like maybe a year or two. Yeah, that's easily possible, especially with these growth companies. Now, if we do see a massive pullback in this market, SoFi is still a growing company. Palantir, it's arguable. A lot of people are saying Palantir has reached its limit. I don't know. I've been in and out of Palantir so many times now. Every time I've made money, and the stock is just up, new all-time highs. After this quarter, I don't know anymore. You're talking 68%, like no, man. This company is massive. Massive. Whew, that was almost a burp. Robinhood. I am looking to get into Robinhood if we have a pullback, because this company is still growing, and this company flourishes in bullish environments. Donald Trump, I do not believe, is going to sit silently as our economy is crumbling. If we do enter into a mini correction or pullback, he is going to be busting his balls to do everything to get this rock and rolling. So if we see a pullback, a Robinhood, I hate saying this, I'm a Robinhood bull, but you got to look at moving averages. If we see a pullback to the $100 consolidation level, or if we even go below 100, oh boy, I'm getting in. Can I go ahead and double up on a position from $80, $100? Yeah, absolutely, I can double up. Can I double up from Palantir if Palantir pulls back to maybe the 120s, the 100? Absolutely, I can double up my money. But here's the reality about it. And also AMD also is the fourth stock that I would go heavy in. AMD over the next 3-5 years, they're on a bull case, you can have a stock price of well beyond $600-700. Everything Lisa Su is doing, their revenue growth, they have made a transition pull over here. You can see massive revenue growth. Now, one of the ways also is that if I go ahead and do a public profile challenge, I'm more than likely not going to be holding some of these stocks like significantly long-term, because I do also want to buy other really good growth companies that I have on my radar that is not on this list over here, because the vast majority of these companies have already made their big moves. SoFi is the only one that has not made its big move just yet. Yeah, SoFi, on my main profile, I have an average on SoFi is $7.41. I am up like 300%-ish, I think, or just around almost 300%. If SoFi was at all-time highs, that'd be over 300%. SoFi is still making moves. But there are other great growth companies that have just started to show a similar pattern where they have made the switch and they're about to accelerate their profitability and revenue growth. SoFi, they made the switch, I believe it was like early 2024, where they went from having a lot of bad quarters and now they're having really good quarters. So they're definitely, they have made the switch. And if you can get into these companies, kind of like Palantir, Robinhood, like you're never going to buy at the bottom. You're never going to sell at the top. I got lucky when I started accumulating SoFi, really lucky. But at the same time, if there's a massive pullback, you got to be. I'm not a financial advisor, but from what I've learned and what I've done, and I've made a significant amount of life-changing money in the stock market, taking your capital and putting it into phenomenal companies that you trust the management to get you out of bad times is the way to go. I trust SoFi. I trust Palantir. I trust Robinhood. I trust AMD. I trust Amazon. I trust Meta. I trust Nvidia. That's the reality about it. So you can make a lot by hauling in on big pullbacks. But here's a reality of stuff too. What if we don't get that big pullback? What if we continue to rally end of the year? What do you do? What am I personally doing? I'm personally doing nothing. I'm letting stuff rise. Earlier this year, I exhausted my capital and I bought the gigantic Liberation Day dip. Last summer was a very big learning lesson for me, and I really had to battle the devil fears, because last summer I was buying stocks like crazy. Last summer I was buying SoFi. Yes, last summer I was buying SoFi. All throughout the $7 range, I was buying SoFi. Buying SoFi. $7 range. I was buying stocks up the wazoo. Last summer, that's all I was doing. I was buying short-term trading swing positions. I don't really dabble into options that much. I have done options, but otherwise, yes, last summer I was buying shares of companies. Yes, shares of companies. This is my my position on my main stock profile. I was buying shares up the wazoo of SoFi. 1642 shares I have on my main profile of SoFi. My largest position on my main account is SoFi. But still, what were other people doing? Oh, I just gotta wait for the election. I gotta wait to see if Donald Trump's gonna be elected. Everywhere I went, every bar that I went out to, I don't drink anymore, but I still go out to bars, have a cup of coffee, get a burger or two. Hey, are you buying stock? No, guys, see. Okay, well, guess what? Donald Trump got elected, stock soared. January came along, I ended up selling all my swing positions. I actually had some Tesla shares. I actually had some Palantir shares. I had a little AMD. Meta, I also had. I completely sold out. Like doubled up on great money. I sold too early. February, we still had, like, I believe February for the most part, stocks were still going to all-time highs. I believe it was around March, and then April Liberation Day. And then in April, I was a heavy buyer again. I sold too early. I was selling out of positions back in June and July. Oh man, yeah, I had a Palantir average of in the 80s, and then I ended up selling too early. You're never going to sell at the top. You're never going to buy at the bottom. But I made money. I bought when so many people were scared shitless, and then I sold when we were going to all-time highs. Could I have held on longer? I mean, shit. Like, if I held on to Palantir, like, even if I sold right now, I would be selling Palantir for greater than I did back in June and July, when I was shedding the vast majority of all my shares. Believe I got rid of all my shares on this nasty dip down right here from the 140s all the way down to the 120s. But still, you're making money. If there's a pullback, for me, I'm going heavy. If there's not a pullback, there's going to be one in the future. I could be wrong. I mean, shit, maybe there is a massive. So what do you do if there is no pullback? Well, then you find phenomenal growth companies like SoFi when they were dirt cheap, and there are plenty of growth companies on my radar that are dirt cheap, like I said, and you move into those ones. You move into the companies that have not gone on the massive upward trend. But as for these companies that are just soaring to all-time highs, that are great companies, if there's a massive pullback, sure, I'll be a buyer. If there's no, then, I mean, I got 2,000, I got 2,001 shares of SoFi. I don't need to add more positions of SoFi currently. I'm very happy, very content. But if we do get a massive pullback on my second account, my public profile, my Webull account, I will be adding SoFi. if SoFi dropped the $7 range, oh man, there has to be something wrong with the company. Majorly wrong with the company. So the overall thing, we got to really see what this jobs report does for us. And if this jobs report is good or bad, it's going to make us or break us. I didn't really mean to turn this video into a long rambling episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Please smash the like button. Subscribe for future content. And let's see where this channel takes us. All right, later everyone. Have a great Sunday. New video tomorrow. Bye.